Hey, if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe. What up guys, this is Monkey Figure Reviews, and today we will be doing an unboxing on the latest glitter and glamours figure, NAMI WANOKUNI style. So this figure was released I think about a week or a week plus ago, and I got it rather early thanks to one of the local sellers here, so shout out to you if you're watching this. And let's just jump straight to the box. So right up front we can see an image of the figure we are going to get. So this is NAMI in her Wano outfit or her ninja outfit, and I think in terms of the box design, they sort of changed it a little bit. Previously I remembered that for over here, like the series name and the figure name, the titles are actually at the top. So this time around they sort of compress it to the bottom, so that's a slight change. And of course we get our brand logos here, BANPRESTO and BANDAI. This is a side view, another image of the figure we are going to get. This is the other side, full body image, and also other shots, other angles of the figure. And this is the back, which you can see there are actually two versions, version A and version B. And mine here is version A, of course, and version B there are some slight changes to the ties, the colors of the outfit, and also the sandals. Alright, and at the top here we have our golden toy sticker to prove its authenticity. I'm looking forward to this one because the prototype here looks really good, but let's see how it looks like inside. Let's go! The figure itself comes very simply, and essentially you just have two pieces. You have a supporting stand that goes onto her right ankle, and the figure itself comes in one piece. And as you can see here, she stands fine on her own, so this piece is not necessary. Let us take a closer look at the figure, starting from the head sculpt. And right off the top, I gotta say something seems a little bit off to me in terms of the facial likeness. I suspect once again is the size of the eyes, and it's just a little bit too big compared to the proportion of her face, similar to the color walk style NAMI which I previously reviewed. So it just makes her face look really squeezed and small, in my opinion, and makes it look a little bit off. Another thing I want to mention is the hair color. The hair color seems to me to be kind of flat. I'm not sure if you can tell in the video, but it's a very matte and flat color. It steals away some of the vibrancy of NAMI's hair. I think if you look at the POP, for instance, the color just really accentuates and enhances NAMI's character, but here it's just very dull. And I think it looks worse because of my white LED lighting at the top. Other than that, you can see for yourself the details on the scalp, the strands. You don't really get to see lots of individual hair strands, so details wise they kind of take a hit there. This is the dark blue ribbon tie at the back. No shading, of course, from what I can see. And on this side, this is a huge no-no. I saw this immediately when I took it off on the wrap. This is a big QC issue, and essentially this is just damaged. And they decided to, you know what, screw this, I'm gonna put it inside a box and sell it out. And take note, this is actually the Japanese version, so you know, they don't really care. No such thing as, you know, like the Japan release is better in quality. Taking a huge hit. And of course, I think these are earrings on both sides, but it's kind of just a dab of white paint. I'm not kidding. I can't even feel, yeah, it's just flat and it's a dab of white paint on it. So there's no earring sculpt from what I can see. Really getting lazy over there. And other than that, the other thing I can talk about is the lipstick she has on her. That's decent. For her outfit, it's essentially just a very consistent sky blue color, and there's really no shading as far as I can tell. And the patterns wise are just this flower patterns printed on, same here. And the middle part I'm not sure what I call this. This is like the waist sash. The prints here are a little bit more lackluster in terms of the production work. Look at this smudge paint towards the bottom and also towards the side. There are some smudges. If it's a little bit, it's fine, but when it's very obvious and widespread, I think it is really a QC and production issue. This is the back, so pretty much essentially the same. And of course you have this big ribbon tie, which I feel is the eye-catching thing of the outfit because of the flow, the way it is. It's very beautiful, and he has that glow, that little shiny look on it. So that's a big plus, but also no shading here. And I think essentially the whole outfit itself, there's not a lot of creases. It's a very, very basic style, even at the front. Over here, so they're going for the clean, simplistic look, similar to, I would say, the Grand Line DXF series. And of course, over here you have her tattoo, so it's pretty decent. And for her nails, it's painted pinkish, same for the other hand. For her legs, on the sculpt, it looks really, really long, but I don't spot any obvious seam lines, so I think that's a good thing. And obviously she's wearing her underwear there for those of you interested. And at her feet, she's wearing this blue sandals. The paint job is also really weak here, in terms of, you know, the paint bleeding into other areas that it shouldn't be, like over there. And detail wise, very, very basic and simple, as you can see. And of course the nails are also painted. The height of this figure from the bottom to the top of her head, it's around 24.5 cm, so around 9 3/4 inches. I have first brought out some of my other NAMI GNG figures so you guys can do a little bit of comparison. Now, this is Stampede NAMI and this is Color Walk NAMI. So even though they are from the same series, it's starting to see that GNG has a little bit of inconsistency with their scale. Previously, when I was just looking at Stampede NAMI and Color Walk NAMI, I just thought, you know, hey, maybe like this one is like an outlier. But now you can tell distinctly there's two different scale. This is obviously bigger than this two, and the way I see it is, even when you just compare the body proportion, like the size of the arms and the body, these two are actually smaller and tinier. In fact, I'm looking at it now and I think that they are much closer to the POP scale. So what they try to do is that they give you the illusion that they are of the same scale by hyper extending the legs. Just to give you an example, imagine if I were to cut off her legs here. Right, let's say her feet is over here. Her body proportion will still look fine, but instead it's extended really all the way down, and it makes her look of similar scale to her, unless you compare it side by side, and you can really tell the difference. The face, the head sculpt is slightly smaller, the body just a little bit tiny smaller and much closer to the POPs. And I'm really disappointed because I was hoping that she is closer to this, so I can put her next to the Ichiban Kuji Wano, but we will see later how they look like. Here are more NAMI figures from different series. This is the POP Crimin version NAMI, and this is Grantista NAMI. So over here you can see the different height differences. It's very obvious, but what I previously mentioned, just to show you guys what I mean, I think if I bring the POP upwards like this, you can tell from here onwards they are essentially around the same scale, and the only difference is that the legs here are hyper extended. Let me know what you guys think. This is just my observation and something that I'm trying to figure out what is going on with the scale. Here we have Best Edition Ichiban Kuji Zoro, and here we have Ichiban Kuji Master Stars Piece Doflamingo. So they are around the scale of your King of Artists, your Master Stars Piece, Flag Diamond Ship, and also by right the GNG. I think some of you might be interested in this. So these are the Ichiban Kuji Wano versions, Luffy and Zoro. So my idea at first in getting this GNG NAMI was to display her next to the both of them, so you get like the Romance Dawn Wano trio together. But it seems like when you look at it, the scales just doesn't match up at all. It's a big no-no. She's just so tiny compared to Luffy and Zoro, and I can't help but feel disappointed because I expected her to be a little bit bigger and potentially a better match, because the Ichiban Kuji Nami was just horrible. Her face was absolutely horrible. This one looks better, but scale wise it's just not a good fit, and disappointed. I think I'll just put her in my female character shelf. Last but not least, I just want to do a quick comparison with the image on the box, because this is the prototype. Mainly talking about the face sculpt, I just think that over here her eyes looks just a little bit smaller, but having the little change in size just makes her face more well proportioned compared to over here. And it could be also the hair sculpt, the way the hair strands to the sides, it leaves a little bit more space over here and here, whereas here it's kind of cramped and just kind of squeezed her face, and in the final product it just seems more cramped than I like, in my opinion. To sum it up, I think this figure is actually really average. I don't have major criticisms in terms of the design and the sculpt of the figure, and I also have nothing to praise. I don't think I can praise anything about this, anything that's outstanding on this figure. So it is very average, and of course when compared to my own expectations, I can't help but feel disappointed, because I expected it to be a lot better in terms of the colors and in terms of the facial likeness. I expected it to be as what I saw on the prototype. Other than that, of course, the big issue with the scale, I wanted her to be a little bit bigger so it can fit well with my Ichiban Kujis, but those were not met, so I'm disappointed. And I hope that this video I have explored all angles of this figure and helped you guys to decide whether or not you want to get this. If you were to ask me whether or not I recommend this, I would say if you are unwilling to buy the POP Nami because of price constraints and you just want a Wano Nami figure, then I think as of right now this will be the one to go for. This is definitely better than the Ichiban Kuji, because that face over there just doesn't cut it for me. Alright, let me know what you guys think in the comments section below, and if you're new here, you like what I'm doing, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, give the video a thumbs up, and I will see you guys very soon. Goodbye.